Hello, my name is Stripped, and welcome to Hive's Guide to Valiona and Theralion, the second boss in the Bastion of the Twilight raid. In this encounter, you will be fighting two dragons that, throughout the fight, trade places between being on the ground and in the air. The first dragon you will fight on the ground is Valiona, while Theralion hits random raid members with missiles from the air. These missiles will hit anyone within 8 yards of the target, so your raid should be spread out to minimize the damage that it does. Valiona will cast a magic debuff called Blackout on a random raid member. When Blackout's duration expires, or the debuff is cleansed, the target will explode for roughly 300,000 shadow damage split amongst all targets in range. Your raid should stack up on Valiona's tail quickly and then spread out again once Blackout has been dispelled. Valiona's second ability is Devouring Flames. She will pick a random direction and a few seconds later will start a 180-degree flame breath in front of her. Anyone in front of her should move behind her quickly and reposition once the breath is done. If you are spread out properly and stack them in an orderly fashion, this phase is fairly straightforward. To avoid losing raid members, it is imperative that Blackout not be dispelled before everyone is in position to split the damage. To avoid premature dispels, assign a single healer to dispel Blackout and make sure that no one else removes it. At 90 seconds into the phase, Theralion will cast Dazzling Destruction on two raid members. Dazzling Destruction will leave large purple swirls on the ground, and a few seconds later, a blast of energy will hit the center of them. Be sure not to stand anywhere near these, as the graphic is much smaller than the effect. Theralion will cast this 3 times in a row, and then land in the center of the room. For this phase, we tank Theralion where he lands, and have all melee and healers stack on the tank. We have 4 ranged players spread out around the room using the design on the floor as a guide, assigning one corner to each player. Theralion will occasionally cast Fabulous Flames on a player, leaving a large purple void zone on the ground. He will turn to the person he is casting this on, and that player should be prepared to move out of it. Theralion's second ability is Engulfing Magic, a debuff on a random player. While Engulfing Magic is up, every tick of healing or damage that player does will cause them to do an arcane explosion around them and damage anyone close to them. Since both Fabulous Flames and Engulfing Magic prefer ranged targets, only one person will be dealing with an ability at any given time with the positioning in this video, simplifying the fight greatly. While in this phase, Valiona will be hitting random targets with Twilight Meteors. Much like Blackout in Phase 1, these split their damage amongst every target in range. The target of a meteor will get a purple arrow over their head and must be stacked with others to avoid dying. Should one of your ranged members get a meteor, have them run into the group in front of Theralion and then return to their spot. Towards the end of the phase, Valiona will prepare the final ability of this encounter, Deep Breath. She will fly to an end of the room, pick 1/3 of the room, and leave a trail of fire on the area that she picks. You should have people dedicated to calling out where the breath is going, but everyone who can should be watching just to be safe. Once she is done breathing, she will return to the ground, and the fight repeats until finished.